Here's a shocking statistic. Up to 90% of realtors will be out of the business entirely within their first 5 years. It is my goal with these videos to reduce that number and help as many people succeed and just find success in this industry as possible. My name is Tony Angelos with eXp in Chicago, and here are the top 9 reasons why most realtors fail. The first one, and this is probably the most common reason any business will fail across basically any sector, is they do not properly account for what it's going to cost to get into the business. And by that I mean the upfront expenses of actually getting your license and getting started in the business. I'm going to create another video breaking down all the costs, not just with getting your license, but with all the costs associated with actually turning it into a profitable business that you can sustain your lifestyle with. So that's going to be a separate video, but you're probably looking at least, in Illinois at least, almost $600 just for the license itself, not including anything else to actually conduct your business. At a high level, I would recommend you having at least 10 grand ready, set aside to devote to this business before getting your license and pursuing this as a career. And not only that, many people, not just myself, will also suggest that you have at a minimum 6 to 8 months of reserves set aside to, carry you on, assuming you don't have other income coming in from some other source. So you have to keep that in mind. The second most common reason that people fail this business is a lack of training and mentorship. And I don't mean that, there's just no training at all, because most brokerages will have some sort of training program, some sort of mentorship program, but it's not the same. As a new agent or someone just struggling to find their balance, it is your job to seek out a mentor, somebody that has the business you want, and you need to find them, connect with them, emulate them, and you need to build your business the way that they have, because there are a million ways to build this business. This is kind of an unpopular opinion, but many people will say that the most important thing is picking a brokerage that fits your needs. I think this is less important, but finding an individual within a brokerage that you can emulate. And that individual may be at a small boutique, they may be at a huge franchise, it doesn't matter, because you need to learn from them directly. And you also need to ask yourself, what kind of learner am I? Do I learn best in the classroom? Do I learn best from shadowing somebody? And finding a company that will allow you to learn that way. Some companies have very rigid training programs, some do not. You just got to find what works for you. But most important is finding a mentor that's going to help guide you through that process. The third most common reason why people fail in this business is just because they don't plan. Most people have no business and they're flying through the day by the seat of their pants. They don't have an organized structure. They don't have anything going, guiding them through the process of becoming a successful broker. And part of that is running a business, and people don't realize that. And to run a business effectively, you need a plan. Having a good mentor will help you define a plan and actually execute on it, because anybody could create a plan. You could go Google a template for it, but if you don't execute on it, it's worthless. So having a good mentor or good guidance is going to help you execute on it, and that's going to make all the difference. The fourth reason why people fail in this industry is not because they're treating this as a part-time job, but because they're treating this as a sometime job. And I've made a separate video on this topic. However, if you have a full-time job Monday through Friday, but then on the weekends, you're spending, 8 hours a day doing open houses, meeting people, and then throughout the week, you have a regular, consistent email newsletter that's going out to the people that you're meeting at these open houses. There's no reason why you cannot build a successful business. It is the people that get their license, never proactively go and introduce themselves to people, meet new people, and put themselves out there, that never find success, or at least consistent success. And then when the time comes to renew their license, they're just like, pass, I'm not going to do that. By treating this as a sometime job as opposed to a part-time job, people will fail. You just get burnt out. You're just tired of it. Now, reason number 5 is kind of the flip side of this. And when the fourth one was a sometime agent, the fifth reason is people are getting burnt out. Too much busy work, not enough boundaries. I was guilty of this when I started my career. I was always available. I was always taking calls. I had a client who was calling me nonstop on a deal at 11 o'clock at night. And it got to a point where I was tired. And it was for a $200,000 deal too. There was not a lot on the line. So people who do not set boundaries and work themselves to death, they'll get burnout. Everybody will get burnout. You do too much busy work, and that comes as a result of not having a clear business plan. Comes from not having a good mentor who doesn't help you execute on a business plan. And then you end up doing everything under the sun, because when everything matters, nothing matters. The sixth reason why realtors fail is because they have no presence online. They have no brand, or they have no identifiable brand, I should say. And when I was a new agent, I was very guilty of trying every single lead generation tactic that I could think of, and I spent a ton of money. I burned through my savings, and it was a terrible move. So, if I could do it all over again, if I could rewind, I would focus on the free sources of business first, for sale by owners, which you could get their number on Zillow, open houses, focusing on my social media, the people that already follow me, and building a presence online so that the people that I know recognize me as a realtor, and also getting myself into situations with people that I do not know where they can identify me as a realtor. Open houses, they come to you. It's amazing. I'm going to create an entire separate video on social media and digital presence because it's something that I think I've excelled at, and it's really helped me gain success as a new agent when so many others have failed. However, what I would say is, and I'm pretty sure Gary Keller says this in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, but you should lead with revenue. When I had no revenue, I had no business spending a ton of money on leads. Leads are really easy to get, to be honest with you. But I was spending all this money on these poor leads that are going to take a long time to nurture, or I had no connection with them, but I had no money coming in. So now I flipped that. Now I go after the free sources. Now I focus on the revenue that I'm getting, and I basically spend about 10% of my expected revenue on marketing expenses and digital ads and stuff like that to grow my pipeline. Reason number 7 that most realtors fail is because they do not utilize their network, or there's fear. People are scared to tell people that they're real estate agents. And this is what I mean. I do not mean, blasting people with a text message, giving them a call, some old school tactics and say, hey Bob, Tony here, I'm a real estate agent, you looking to buy or sell a house? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being consistent on your social media, not having 2 separate ones. Going out, showing the things that you do, being an authentic person, and also utilizing the network you have for referrals. One thing that I've been doing a lot lately, and I think everybody should do this, is utilizing my network to find referral partners. Divorce attorneys, probate attorneys, bankruptcy attorneys, people like this. All it took was for me to talk to one guy that I knew that was an attorney. One of my clients, he was an attorney, and I said, hey, do you know anybody that does this? And he goes, yeah, I do actually. Let me introduce you guys. He introduced me. Now I've gotten 2 deals from him. This connection happened 2 months ago, by the way. Use the resources that you have, because most of your business will come from people that you know, like, and trust, and know, like, and trust you. And you need to make those connections to get that to happen. Now, number 8, this kind of goes without saying. I almost feel stupid saying it, but people are disorganized. So many agents are disorganized because they just come in, like I said, fly by the seat of their pants, and don't have a plan. If you have a good CRM and you've taken some time, and I recommend this with everybody, if you take some time, spend a couple hours when you're just getting started to build some systems within your CRM to make your life easier, you will find more success. Because the CRM's job, they're very powerful, they could be very good, but most people don't properly use them. But if you can build your CRM in a way that makes your life easier to stay on top of more people, you will succeed. People don't use their CRMs this way. People use their CRMs in a way to like mass blast people. That does not promote authenticity. That does not promote connection. However, your CRM should be a source of planning. It should be a source of organization. It should help you stay on task to talk to not just 100 people, but maybe 500, 600, 700 people at any given time. Because otherwise, you only have so much bandwidth. You're going to forget people that you talked to, a month ago, 2 months ago. But if you could keep them in your CRM in a good action plan or a smart campaign, depending on whatever you have, they have different names for them. I use KV Core with EXP. You could build smart campaigns that are going to help you stay on task. So being disorganized, that's number 8. Number 9 kind of goes hand in hand with this, but following up with every single lead. All too often, and this is a sales thing, all too often, people will make one follow-up attempt. They'll give the person a call, say, hey, are you interested? And they say, fuck you, don't ever call me again. You hang up. I'd probably not call that person back. However, a lot of people are just going to say, you know what, I'm just looking right now, or I'm not interested right now. And that's it. They'll never call them again. However, we know statistically, most sales, 90% of sales, happen after the 7th attempt. And you could look at, especially like for sale by owners, you could look at a lot of the conversations that I have with for sale by owners that turn into listings, and you can see that I'm calling them, emailing them, texting them over the course of a month to get their business. Because typically, the first time you call them, they think they could do their job better than you. The last time you call them, they're asking you to work with them. It takes time to warm somebody up. And that is part of sales, that's part of business. And that is one of the, that honestly could be reason number one why people fail in this business. They just don't follow up. But I digress. That's going to be reason number 9. So here's the bottom line. This could be an amazing career. This has given me so much. Before I was an agent, before I was a broker, I was in a finance shop and I fucking hated it. But there are a lot of pitfalls to this and a lot of people fail. The statistics are pretty grim. But if you can avoid these pitfalls that I outlined in this video, you are going to increase your chances of success a lot. So if you like something and if you learned something today, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And I am now, as you can see, in a new office from my previous videos. I am going to make a much more focused effort in 2023 and the rest of 2022 to produce more content that's going to be more valuable to people. And these are just based on conversations that I'm having in my own mentor groups where people are asking questions, what they're focusing on, what they're struggling with. And that's going to be the basis of everything that I'm doing. So do me a favor, leave a comment of something you would like to see a video on. And if I don't know the answer or if I don't specialize in it, I will bring somebody in to do that conversation for me because YouTube is amazing. Take care. Thanks for watching.